All right, friends, it's T-Man, and we're gonna do a reaction video today to Menno Henselman's video where he says, "Blow up your arms." It's another one of these influencers again, Menno, man. Anyways, I'm gonna react to his video. This fitness gym lifting recruiting slave. So Menno Henselman says, these optimized exercises blow up your arms. Huh, okay.
Overhead tricep extensions have become a lot more popular recently as people's favorite triceps exercise. And that's for good reason. A study found that if you compare pushdowns and overhead triceps extensions, the overhead triceps extensions stimulate significantly more growth in the triceps muscle. However, many people do...
No, really? You don't say. Gee, I wonder why. Why would the overhead extension produce more gains than pushing downward, squeezing your ass cheeks? You understand me? The majority of people have a tendency when they do the straight bar pull down for their triceps, they're just squeezing their muscles. They're just squeezing them. That's all they're doing, really. They're never doing the eccentric part, which is way at the top, because it's uncomfortable. So they're always just squeezing. They're always starting from the midpoint and then squeezing downward. But remember, when you start with the behind the neck, your arms are always way back, pulling back on your tricep. Think about this. When you initiate the movement, right, your arms are bent. Okay, are your arms bent when you're doing the pull down from the front? No. You're always starting right in the middle and then pushing downward, squeezing. See the difference? So you're starting in a stretch position. So why aren't you starting in a stretch position with the pull down? Start at the way very top, very, 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 very top, where your knuckles meet your shoulders. Nobody does that in the gym. Go look around. See what I mean? So it's kind of obvious it's going to cause more growth. Why is that? Because people are so stupid, they don't realize it's the eccentric part that's causing the growth, the eccentric exercise. It's kind of obvious. If it's all the way back there, it's an eccentric exercise. You're starting from the stretch position, okay? And you're trying to pull outward. So there's more stretch. And when the weight goes back, it goes back with what? Gravity. It pulls back with gravity. But when you're standing up and pulling down, again, you have a tendency to do what? Squeeze. You're squeezing your muscles. You're not going with gravity. You're going against gravity. But whatever.
Your triceps extensions in a probably slightly suboptimal manner. So here are some tips to get more out of your overhead triceps extensions. First, if you have a big dumbbell, so this is a small one, I'm going to use small ones too.
Look, man, I can get just as much out of doing the straight bar, standing up, doing my triceps than I can get more out of it than I can doing it from behind my neck, because I have more control over it there, and I can also assist. I can assist with one arm. See what I mean? I can switch one arm to the other arm, and I keep assisting by pulling it down, and letting the weight raise my tricep up in the up direction. Let's say it's going with gravity, whatever you want to call it. It's because you're standing in an odd position using pulleys. So, but anyway, regardless, I'm not doing it for a full concentric. I'm simply focused on the eccentric part. I just simply try to push down as far as I can get it, which usually is just a midpoint because I'm going astronomically heavy, but I'm trying to control it and then let the weight go up by itself. I'm controlling it as it's going up slowly. I'm not letting it just go, the weights slam. I'm not letting them just slam. It's controlled. The eccentric is always controlled. If you do not control the eccentric, that's where people get injuries, because they're weak. They never built themselves eccentrically. They never built any muscle or themselves eccentrically. They simply got better ass cheek squeezing concentrically. That's why muscles, they don't grow concentrically. I think really people have lost their brains everywhere in the fitness industry. They just don't realize that concentric exercises do not build, ass cheek squeezing does not build muscles.
illustrate the exercise. If you have a big one in particular, you can use an offhand grip. So
Like, you'd think that Menno could explain this to you. Oh, they did a study and they realized that people that are doing it from the front, the triceps, they're not building any muscle, but they found they were building muscle doing the extensions from behind the neck. Oh, no, really?
if you use it in the middle,
Gee, I wonder why.
that will hit your body.
See, look at where he started. Look at where he started. He started in the stretch position. Now, when you're on the cable machine standing up trying to press down with your triceps, where are you starting? Are you starting like that? Fucking no. The people in the gym are all starting midpoint. I can prove it. I can bring up videos and show it right now. Just look on YouTube all over the place, okay? Look at Blahaw's videos, all his stupid fucking, what do you call it? These guys that he has, the fake people he's training or whatever. They're all doing this ridiculous stuff.
And that might limit your range of motion. Generally, more range of motion is good, especially when it's at longer muscle lengths. So,
No, it's not. You don't need a long range of motion if you're doing eccentric overload. The word overload, eccentric, means that you're, man, Christ. When they talk about concentric overload, people that live concentrically, they go, you need to overload. Yeah, concentrically. But guess what? You're not really focused on the eccentric. You're never doing it. So in eccentric overload, we are not doing full concentric. Just like the concentric lifters, they never do full eccentrics. They just do concentric overload because they want to get better at lifting heavier concentrically. We don't go to the gym because we want to, in bodybuilding, to build your body, we don't go to the gym to get better at lifting fucking concentrically. We go to the gym to build muscle, to build our bodies big and strong, to build more myofibrillars. You understand me? So we lift heavy eccentrically. We overload the eccentrics. We initiate with concentric, but we overload eccentrically. That's why people are failing.
Always use an offhand grip instead of just a regular grip, and that means there is less space and you can get a bigger range of motion. Second, the reason likely that triceps isolation exercises, and especially overhead ones, are really good for the triceps is because the long head does not just extend the elbow, it's also helping the lats in pulling the elbow back down to your body. It's a shoulder extensor. So this means that for doing a bench press exercise, you are extending the elbow, but you're also flexing the shoulder. If the long head of the triceps, this part...
No, you're not. You're pushing. You're pushing with your tricep. That's what you're doing.
would be contracting, if this would be contracting...
Listen, bench press, doing bench press, when you're bench pressing, you're really not stretching the tricep. It's already adapted anyways to this exercise. Not really stretching. You're concentrating on stretching the chest area is what you're doing, really. You're trying to do. I don't know. Man, like I said, people adapt easily to these exercises, so they don't know how to get out of the adaptation when it comes to bench press. I'll explain this. In bench pressing, let's say we are doing the same weight, heavy. We're going up and we're going down. We got concentric, we got eccentric. Do you need to go for a full concentric? Not necessarily. What will be harder if you keep the tension? If you keep the tension on the muscle, and you don't make it for a full concentric, what will happen? You'll get weakened, because most of the exercise will be emphasizing on the eccentric, because when you try to go up for the concentric, you're only going partially up. So let's say you go partially up, right? But then you go back down. You go partially up, go back down. That tension stays because you didn't lock out in the concentric, so you didn't rest at the top and then lower again, and then rest at the top, then lower again. See what I mean? So when you're going through the exercise, there's so much tension there, it's going to weaken you a lot faster. People go, oh my God, this is harder. Yeah, it's harder because all the tension is placed there, the mechanical tension. See what I mean? You're emphasizing it all there in that one spot. Anyway, the point is this: to bring back that damage in bench pressing, because you are, let's just say you are doing eccentric, concentric, but you're kind of adapted to your eccentric. The only way to get out of it is by adding more sets. astronomically high sets. So you have to do multiple sets of between 8 and 12 repetitions. Never go more than 8 and 12 repetitions. And the only difference is now you have to add more sets. People, they have this thing, they don't want to do more sets. They think 5 sets is enough and I'm done. And let me go on to do this, do that. They don't realize they just wasted their workout. They didn't get any damage. There's no growth going to happen there. There's nothing going on there. See what I mean? You have to keep adding more sets. Some exercises require that you add more sets to get this damage to come back. It's an overworking. Science will corroborate what I say. You can still get it by doing this. It's called an overworking of that muscle. You need to overwork the eccentric, regardless whether you got the concentric is meaningless. You have to overwork that eccentric in that bench press to bring back that damage. Some exercises just require that. See what I mean? There are a lot of people, they're like, well, I'll just do the eccentric benching. No. It's not just, I just do some eccentrics benching and then I'll get over this hump, or I'll get bigger and better or stronger, get more of these sarcomeres. No, you have to overwork it to get damaged. And that applies for the overhead, OHP. Well, people will be like, well, but I'll do one arm. You know, I'll assist, I'll lift, and then I'll do one arm. You don't necessarily have to do that. I'm saying you can, in bench pressing, you can, if you have some friends, you bench press and then you just do some eccentrics at the end of your sets. See what I mean? You can do these at the end. Don't just do, look, there's some people that go to the gym and they just like, I just want to do some eccentrics. No, you don't just do eccentric work, okay? Eccentrics are usually used at the end of workouts. Just because you want to get more in there, a possibility of trying to eke out more damage. The truth is, you just have to overwork the muscle, really. See what I mean? But now you're kind of exhausted, so you're like, okay, I'll just eke out some eccentrics. Maybe I have some friends here, they can help me. You can do that. You can do that. But if you don't have a spotter, just overwork that muscle eccentrically. That's it.
Similarly, it would help extend the elbow, but it would pull back the arm. Therefore, the body does not maximally recruit the long head of the triceps, probably during bench presses, and research has found that the long head of the triceps is very poorly stimulated by bench press type exercises. On average in the literature, push-ups and bench presses, barbell bench presses even, for dumbbells it's even worse, stimulate only about half the growth in the triceps as they stimulate in the pecs. So, the problem is that biarticulate muscle conflict of pulling the elbow back, if you're doing overhead tricep extensions like many people do, which is with a little bit of cheating, if you will, kind of like this, you get the same problem because the long head, if it would be contracting, would be pulling the elbow back down. What you want, if you really want to focus on the triceps, get the long head to maximum length, then you need to get your arm all the way overhead and keep it there. You don't want to do it like this. You want to do it like this. And anecdotally,
that can be uncomfortable for some people. Their shoulder might hurt or something. The twisting motion, I don't know. See what I mean? Do you have to do that? No. You can still do with standing up, doing the straight bar. People just don't know how to do it. They're just not focused on the stretch part.
I've also found that many people report less elbow pain when they hold the arm in place. So when there's more stability during triceps exercises, not so much as in a machine when the movement trajectory is completely fixed, but when the upper arm is fixed in place, so you can hold it or even put your arm against your head, really fixing the arm so that you can purely focus on the triceps extension movement. Again, using an offhand grip if needed. You want to get your hand behind your body to really close the elbow angle and get full range of motion. This is probably the best way to stimulate your triceps. For the biceps, many people train their biceps primarily with dumbbell and barbell curls. That is traditionally the way because that's the equipment we had. However, I think we can do a bit better even if we only have dumbbells and barbells. So, a standard dumbbell curl, which you would do like this, has a big problem in that in the bottom of the movement.
Standard baloney dumbbell curl. See what I mean? I'll tell you what's superior in this exercise. You can do dumbbells, but it's much more superior to use a barbell. Want to know why? because if you're emphasizing the eccentric part, you can go super heavy. In other words, you don't have to curl the barbell all the way up. See what I mean? You can pull with your arms toward your body. You can pull the barbell astronomically heavy. See what I mean? And then you control it on the way down eccentrically. And then you pull it back up using your biceps and your arms. Of course, your body, you're pulling it back up, as opposed to like it being all the way out there, like way out of your body, like again, like people, how they fly weights at the side of their body for their shoulders. They go way out there. That's why they could only do light weights. You understand me? Here's the thing. The problem with a lot of these exercises, these so-called accessory exercises, what crazy people call accessory exercises, it's really not in bodybuilding. So it is when you're using 10-pound weights. And so they use lightweight because your arm is all the way out there. See what I mean? If your arms are all the way extended from your body, all the way out like this, and your elbows are like way out there, like at your rib cage area, and you're trying to curl a heavy weight, of course you're not going to bring it all the way up. It's too heavy for your arms. They're small muscle groups. You understand me? But you can pull it in extremely heavy and then lower it eccentrically in an eccentric overload. Understand me? And then it'll come back bigger and stronger. And most likely you could handle curling it. But until then, you never will, because you're adapted. You're still doing the same weight that you've been doing the last 15 goddamn years and in a coma. You understand me? The reason why none of you people remember anything, because you've all been in a coma for the last 20 years in a gym. You just finally woke up because you found my channel.
Gravity is pulling the weight straight down, and there is no demand for elbow flexion. The biceps is moving the weight up.
Yeah, gravity, it pulls things down. Yeah, that's why you can go heavier.
This, and gravity is pulling down, so the biceps in this position are essentially relaxed. There's no muscle tension on there.
Exactly. You can handle heavier weight going down. In your mind, you're thinking no. But the truth is, you can handle astronomically heavy weight going down with gravity. That's why eccentric exercise will always be superior, because you can handle heavier loads going down. See what I mean? That's the difference.
That's also a problem if you do incline curls. Many people do incline curls because it stretches the biceps extends over the shoulder. So if you put the elbow behind the body, it stretches the biceps more. That is true, but...
Yeah, but there's so many things that are going against you. The whole stretching. With these little tiny weights, they're not going to do enough stretching. Get it? There's not enough going on there to cause the damage. You need astronomically heavy weight, and it needs to be fast repetitions, heavy, controlled, eccentric overloads.
In the standard incline curl type movement, again, the arm is vertical in the bottom position, so while the muscle is lengthened...
This is uncomfortable and dangerous, and this is not good. And you don't need to do it. You need to go to a cable machine. All the mechanical tension will be placed there. It's a lot better. Or a barbell. That's it. A very heavy barbell or a cable machine. You don't fucking try to curl it with your arms extended. You try pulling it inward towards your body. And like what an intelligent person would do. You pull it towards your body and then you let it lower. You let the weight do its job. You understand me? But you control it on the way down. That's it.
It's not actually under tension. So if you want high tension at long muscle lengths, which is probably ideal for the biceps, because even if you don't put any stock in the stretch-mediated hypertrophy stuff, there is more active tension in the biceps as well, because the biceps is relatively unique as a muscle. Based on its operating sarcomere lengths, we know that the biceps produces the most active internal force, not just passive tension, but also active tension when it's at long muscle lengths. By the way, do you like my content? Then you'll love my online PT certification course.
No, I
Tim and I have compiled quite literally all. You'll also get a PT toolkit. This course in the market. Okay. Shoulder is maximally.
Jeez. I think he's selling courses now or something. I don't know.
Stretch, and then you can do an incline curl like this. That would be good.
Yeah, like that's going to do something, yeah. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm just going to do these, yeah, up and down. I can show you channels right now. They're not progressing unless, of course, they fake it. eventually they fake it and take some drug and pretend that they made it. Get it? They faked it to make it. Doing these so-called exercises. Give me a break.
If you don't want to do a setup, or if you just want an alternative exercise, which you can also do if you prefer to keep standing, is to do a standing dumbbell curl, but with the...
Like I said, people go to the gym, they all look at each other because they're all performing slaves. They all look at each other because they're like, wow, let me impress this performing slave. Because, man, I tell you, I still went to this gym. The last gym I went to, this guy was like coming in there. He was like screaming and throwing the weights. And then another guy down there was like, lightweight, baby. You know, they would do this like stupid shit, bro. They would scream, trying to impress you by like, you know, I don't know, a bunch of dumbbells, heavy, and trying to press them and then throw them on the floor. Like doing ridiculous shit. They're all there to impress the other gym lifting slaves. Gyms are not for performing, for performances. Performing performances, get it? You understand me? If you want to look good, well, the gym is not really the place to do that. But that's the problem with the people today. They all go there because they want to look good. So I got to do concentric exercise like the other old slaves and show them up. I got to show them, and then the guy will show them. Meanwhile, the guy that's actually doing more eccentrics, he's getting bigger and stronger. Get it? And then they're all looking around going, what the hell he doing? Oh, he must be a fake natty. You understand me? Because all these gym lifting slaves, they're all stuck on broken record, doing concentric lifting, performing slaves.
Elbows pressed forward onto your body. You put the elbows on your hip bones, and then you do dumbbell curls like this. Now you
see, this guy's all about performance, looking good on camera. Look, guys, you do this. You lay on this, and then you do this. And look at the weights that he's using. He's got all these weights here, like, you know, 50s, I don't know, 60s, 70s, 80s, 100. Meanwhile, he's like, what, using 10-pound weights? Because it doesn't look pretty using astronomically heavy weights because they're really used for eccentric exercises. Ask yourself this question. Why do they have all these super heavy weights? They're like really heavy, but then they have these lighter weights. And the majority of people in the gym, you think they're using those astronomically heavy weights? No. See what I mean? The only people that are really using them are the steroid people, but they're just using them wrong. They're still using them concentrically to show off. That's the difference. So a lot of people, they try to use the heavy weight. It's just for showing off concentrically. But truly, the heavy weight is really used for eccentric exercises. That's why the cable machines, you see people using the cable machine, they never utilize the entire stack. They just use 10 pounds or 15 pounds. They do side laterals, front, side, this, that. They do their biceps. They use like 40 pounds. I can show you on so many channels. It's ridiculous.
also have tension in the bottom position.
Yeah, okay.
The nice thing about this exercise, if you're short on time, what I sometimes like to do, is to finish the exercise up like this. You can go to failure or however close you want, and then go into a mechanical drop set and continue the exercise with regular dumbbell curls.
Yeah, sure.
And then after you hit failure again, you can keep going with one arm at a time until you again hit failure. This takes advantage of the bilateral deficit.
See, hit failure. Just keep doing it, hit failure. Well, I'm not saying that that's wrong. You're going to get an overworking of the eccentric part. Sure, it's overworking now, right? But it's not enough. There's not enough overworking there because you didn't do enough. Yeah, get it?
Which is defining that if our body does something with two arms at the same time, it cannot coordinate the movement as effectively as with one arm at a time, and therefore we are stronger.
Just like NCBI tells you, a second week after the first produces much less damage. Why? One proposed method is that there was they got some more sarcomeres in series and in parallel. See what I mean? That's one proposed method. The second method is that they are focused on concentric lifting, and the eccentric they forgo the eccentric. It's going down light now. It's going down lighter. That's all. It's really simple. They've adapted to the eccentric. It's going down lighter. They're not doing any eccentric. They're not focused on doing eccentric exercises. They start focusing on doing concentric lifting, ass cheek squeezing. Like him, he's just squeezing his biceps doing this exercise.
With one dumbbell than with two dumbbells. You can easily test this for yourself. If you do dumbbell curls to failure with two arms, drop one of the dumbbells. Even if it's your weaker arm, you can still keep going. You can still probably do a few repetitions. because the body has an easier time producing force with just one arm at a time. And not
Sure. The problem is you think these people that do drop sets and cluster sets. And so what are you doing there? Well, in overload, eccentric overload, the whole idea is to keep even going heavier. Is to if you notice it's not heavy enough, you go even heavier. See what I mean? But these guys, they're going lighter. That's why they call it drop set. They're going lighter instead of going heavier. You get it? They're just getting better at doing endurance, getting better at doing the exercise. So all this thing, it's all fake. Even this, like, you should pyramid your exercise. You ever heard that? Pyramiding? Yeah. So they'll start going up a little bit heavy, but then they'll start going down lighter again. They'll go up heavy and then go down light. That's called pyramiding. It never works.
another tip to get a bigger biceps is to do concentration curls with a backward lean. So do like Fat Joe said, lean back. Lean back. So most people do their concentration curls like this.
Okay. They do the concentration curls. Man, maybe that will make my biceps grow. If I, instead of doing it what Menno did, it standing up, having them, my elbows bending in my stomach, or maybe leaning back on the bench like he did previously, right? I'll just do concentration curls. Maybe that will make them bigger too. More variations make them grow magically. Bro, you just need one exercise, eccentric overload. Just pick one, either the cable machine or a barbell. That's it. Whatever it is, your preference is. But the point is, you only need one exercise. It could just be the cable and it'll do it for you. So you don't even need the barbell. It's just preference. Barbell, or if you don't have a cable machine, use a barbell. If you don't have a barbell, use a cable machine. Whichever. The cable machine will be much better, but eventually you'll max out. So you got to use heavier barbells to do it. That's it.
And that's okay. It will certainly work. All of the exercises that I've talked about in this video,
Sure.
It will be effective. We're talking about optimization here. What you can do,
And I'm going to tell you, they're not going to be effective for any growth. Everything that he showed you here, nothing's going to be effective. Unless, of course, you do astronomically heavy eccentrics overloads.
to get the muscle at high tension in the long lengths is to lean back, use your leg as a fulcrum,
Lean
and now
back.
you'll see that there is high tension on the biceps in the bottom position
Sure,
because
yeah.
the arm is not vertical. For most free weight exercises where you're training arms, you don't want the arm to be vertical in the
Yeah, not with those 10 pounds, that's for sure.
bottom position because then there will be no muscle tension.
Sure.
And then you do the exercise like this.
Yeah.
So give these tips a try and let me know what you think.
A waste of time, man. I know a lot of people have given those a try, and they're still there in the gym 20 years later. Guess what? They look like Menno, Henselman. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Don't you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. I'll see you in the next one.